Hello, I'm here back with how to learn a language today with the topic vocabulary. Should I drill vocabulary? Well, there is an important difference between beginning learner and an advanced learner, and that is because if you are just beginning, the words that you will learn are words with a high frequency. So you will, if you read or listen to a text or an audio, you will have a very high chance of re-encountering the word that you're learning. So there is that's like a natural way of repeating the word. If you are an advanced learner, then the words that you are learning are probably of a much lower frequency. So that means that if you want to have the repetition, then you actually need to create that repetition yourself. It's not going to happen by just reading and listening a lot. So if you want to remember something, you can do two things. You can either repeat it a lot in order to remember it, or you can actually connect the new knowledge to previous knowledge. So some knowledge that you already have. So if you have a word that actually is very similar to another word you already know, for example, the word builder, and you already know the word build, then it's pretty easy to remember because it is already connected to some former knowledge. So in that case, the repetition is not that necessary. Another difference that is important to make is that you have what we used to call passive and active vocabulary knowledge. So passive would mean that you recognize the word. When you see it in the foreign language, you would understand what it means. So that's what you need when listening and reading. And the other way is the active or the productive vocabulary knowledge. So for example, you need that when you want to write or speak. Most people want to learn a language in order to speak it. So if you only read and listen, I would say that you're missing the active vocabulary training. Because if you don't train it, you will not be very good at it. And that is why when you want to talk, the words, even though you know the words, might not come out as soon as you want them to, because you have not repeated them often enough. So in first place, I would say it is best to combine the repeating of the word and the connecting the words to current knowledge. And now I would say for a beginner, usually speaking is the thing that you will be able to do comfortably the last. So if that's not your goal at the beginning of learning the language, I would say it is not 100% necessary to drill vocabulary, to have the repetition. You can just make sure that you have a lot of input, and so you read a lot and you listen a lot. But on the other hand, if you are an advanced learner, or if you really think it's important that you learn to speak soon, then it is important to combine the reading and listening, so to make sure you get a lot of input, so you also see the words within different contexts, to combine that with drilling the vocabulary. There's another way of actually connecting the current knowledge to your former knowledge, and that is by making it's called mnemonic techniques. Sorry. It's actually a very nice way to use your current knowledge about anything in order to remember the letters or the shape of the word and to connect it to its meaning. I will do another video on that. It can be hilarious. You can make the most ridiculous logics in your mind. If it helps, why not? Let me see. So if you are a beginner, you could do without, but Look, if you're learning a language that is actually your mother tongue, so you are learning it from when you are a child, you're actually listening to the language a lot. So you get a lot of inputs before you start actually speaking and writing, etc. So as a child, you actually have a lot of time. Besides, you cannot even speak yet when you are a baby, so you are not in a rush, you know. Most language learners want to learn a language fast. So if you want to learn a language fast, I always recommend to do the combination. So I mean the drilling and getting a lot of inputs. The drilling, I always recommend it to combine it with some techniques to remember things. Now, I do have some good news, because usually in the past you used to have vocabulary lists. First of all, usually they were very long. It's better to select them. I have another video about how to select the vocabulary. So it's good to have a selection, not to learn too much at a time. And there used to be, for example, left the new word and on the right the translation in your mother tongue. So you would just put your hand on one column and then try to remember, or you would ask your mom, hey, can you ask me? Or you would just say them out loud, or write them over and over again, and that is fine if you like it. But most people think this is pretty boring, right? So the good news is that there are a lot of ways to learn a language. For example, there's this application, Quizlet, that I like a lot at the moment. It is only to study vocabulary. You can also put some grammar structures or short sentences in it if you want, so to tackle also the grammar. And to give it some context, you can add pictures. It has the audio with it, and it has a lot of different learning methods. Some of them are even almost like a game. You can download it on your phone as an app, or you can use the website. It's very nice. I will do a review on it another time so you can see how it works. And there's another one called Anki, for example. That one has a very good repetition schedule to repeat or to relearn the word at the right moment. So that's also very nice. But of course, you can also, use flashcards, and the word that you had correct, you put it on this side, and the wrong ones on that side, and etc. etc. Again, don't do too many at a time. Also, don't learn hours and hours, because it's best to repeat over time. So every day, like 15 minutes, that would be perfect. Much better than only once a week for a very long time. So then you have the pile with the words you knew and the words you didn't know, and you just repeat the words you didn't know until there are no more, and then you repeat the whole stack, because of course you might have forgotten about the first ones already. Another option would be to hang post-its. For example, when you're learning the furniture, here you hang a post-it chair. Or it would be possible to make a poster, for example, with the most difficult words. Print them out with big letters. You hang it on I don't know, in the toilet or on your refrigerator, above your bed or whatever. So that would be also a good thing to combine with the drilling. Or there are many other ways, like the gold list method. Just find out what works best for you. It has to be a little fun, because you best do it every day. So in order to keep going, it should be a little fun, right? All right, so I think, what else? Yeah, I think that's the most important part. So I would recommend you to in order to speed up the process, because you don't have years and years, unless you don't care about taking a long time. But also, if you want to speak, it's very important that you combine the drilling with the inputs. And I will do another video on mnemonic techniques another time. I will also tell you about the Quizlet app in another video. There's more to come, so subscribe to my channel, How to Learn a Language. If you have questions, leave a comment. Comment below, share this video with your friends if you liked it, or give it a like. Okay, have a nice day. Bye bye.